Hi Capricorn, this is your reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and this is not going to resonate for every single Capricorn out there. Alright, you guys, let's see what's going on for my Capricorns. I just want to say that this is also a timeless reading, so whenever you come across it, I believe that's when you were meant to hear this message. So, let's see what is happening for my Capricorns. I almost feel like a pit in my stomach. I don't know if some of you guys are experiencing that, if that's just me. Yeah, okay, so there's like this sense of like, oh, I need to move. Like anxious almost a little too. King of Potions. I feel like some of you guys are, I'm almost getting this sense of wanting to move forward, but feeling like you're blocked. Like there's this piece of you that's discouraged emotionally. So it's like you can't really go forward because it's like your emotions are getting in the way. We have the Star, the Two of Candles, the Two of Presents, the Eight of Needles, and then the Four of Needles. And then we have the Five of Candles. So conflict, but it feels like internal conflict here, Capricorn. I feel like some of you guys, you're in this process of healing and you know you need to heal. Yeah, so you want to create something. You want to create something new. And this healing, it's like creating... Okay, so it's almost like moving forward and creating something is going to cause a tower moment in your life. It's going to shake you up. It's going to wake something up inside. Ooh. But you're not happy where you are. Okay, so I'm getting this sense here, Capricorn, that some of you guys, it's like you're wanting to move forward with something. You're wanting to put in a lot of work, and for some of you guys, you might even be willing to like use that law of attraction, like manifesting what it is that you want. But you're having this difficulty because it's like there's things coming in your life. It's like you're afraid of the change. You're afraid of the things that come with this healing, that come with wanting certain things for yourself and for your life. And it's like you're needing to take this time to heal and take this time to rest, but it's almost like you don't want this cycle to end, but it has to end in order for you to have a new beginning. You see what I'm trying to go with this? So it's like you're manifesting, whether you realize it consciously or subconsciously, that you're manifesting a new change, you're manifesting a new scenery, new everything. And it's almost like that scares you. So it's like you're trying to keep yourself blocked. It's almost like you are sabotaging yourself because of your emotions. Like you're so afraid of the fear of the unknown, the fear of this change and the uncomfortability that comes with change. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you're still healing though. But at the same time, there's still this sense of like, okay, well, I have to heal and that takes a lot out of me. You feel like you can heal. You feel like you can. And I'm getting this sense of like, yes, you can do this. But then there's this part of you that's a little pessimistic. That's like, well, what if this doesn't go in my favor? What if I can't get what I want? What if I'm making a mistake? And it's like you needing to get out of that, because with that Wheel of Fortune there, I'm not sensing that anything bad about this card at all. I'm just getting that it's the perception of what if I don't get what I want? What if this doesn't happen? It's the what ifs. And I feel like in the past, you've had all of these examples of how things never ended well for you and how maybe you could have messed up or how certain things just didn't go in your favor, and you still dwell on that a lot. And I feel like that's kind of another issue that's keeping a lot of you guys stuck at this time here, Capricorn. It's because you believe that maybe what you're wanting or what you're willing to manifest, maybe you can't have. And it's like you want to get unstuck, because I get the sense that you've been feeling stuck for a while and you want to start something new, but then it's also like you don't want to lose what you have, but you want to move forward, but you also are afraid of what's to come. So you see how it's just like there's this this tug and pull inside of you, like I need this, I can't have this. It's like I want this, but then there's like the opposite side of you that's like, yeah, no. So it's like you're fighting with yourself back and forth from two different sides. It's like the polarity of the two. But there's this part of you that knows that you're in a rush, almost like you're wanting to rush because you can see where your happiness can be. But at the same time, you're like, but is that a pipe dream? What if I'm not actually happy? So it's all of these, like, what I'm getting with that 5 of Candles too, it's almost like you're subconsciously constantly talking and chattering in your mind. And it's like there's negative beliefs that you have that you're not maybe even aware of that's keeping you guys from moving forward. Because it's almost like you want to start something new. You are willing to go out there and do whatever that takes. But then there's this piece of you that's like, well, I feel like giving up before I even start. Because how do I know that I'm actually going to reach this fortune that I'm hoping that I'm going to get? And so then you start to, because like you think about what you want and you think about the fortune that you want. But then at the same time, then you start to get into sorrow and start to say, well, but the past. And then that's where you go into that moment here where you start juggling the past and what it is that you currently want. And it's almost like you're not realizing that you can have what you want here, Capricorn, but you need to work towards that. You need to let go of these fears that you have about the failures and about what hasn't worked out for you in the past. And I get this sense too that it's like you're just frustrated because maybe some of you guys feel like you have to almost like whip yourself to do certain things. Like you just feel really restricted. And you feel like maybe your options are limited. But it's like this lack of clarity inside of yourself of what it is that you really want. Because for some of you guys, you could be overwhelmed with the options, or it's just the sense of I'm never going to get out of whatever this situation is. And as I say, this sense of like lack of clarity, it's like these cards popped out. Because there's something that you still need to work on and heal. You need to release those subconscious beliefs. Because it's like there's a part of you that is afraid that you really can't go out and do it. And that's like whatever has happened in your past, whatever has been, it almost feels like it could have shattered your dreams, or it could have, like there's something in your past that you keep going back to and referring to about why you can't do this or about why something isn't happening for you. And it feels like something that's caused kind of an insecurity. But it's like you have the ability to, whatever this is, like to get out of it. But I feel like you feel stuck in a partnership, or you feel stuck in a situation that you're just not happy in, that you want to move forward. But it's like it's you're feeling like you're in an unstable place, like you're almost afraid to really speak about what it is that you really want. And I don't think it's necessarily to other people. I think it's like in yourself. You're afraid to really ask yourself, what is it that I really want? um and I think it's because you have these limiting beliefs that you don't deserve it, or it's never going to happen. And so I kind of get this impression that a lot of you guys, maybe you're afraid of missing out on certain opportunities, but you're also kind of afraid of, like, it's almost like you're afraid that if you go after what it is that you want, that you're going to disappoint a bunch of people, you're going to disappoint yourself. See, I feel like you know you need to heal, but you also feel like you're not healing. So I keep getting this sense of frustration. And again, with that Tower card, this Tower card kept popping up already. I feel like it's just a really, like, you're just getting, things keep happening, or it's like the shock. There's the shock of what you're experiencing. I feel like some of you guys are learning new things about yourself, and it's almost like it's shocking you, like, oh, I never thought in a million years I would do this, and I am doing it now. I never thought that I was this person, and now I am. You know, it's like you guys are realizing different things about yourself here, Capricorn, and it's like now you're needing to take that time to really heal and really reevaluate, because I feel like there's conflicting beliefs about who you're becoming and who you once were. So it's almost like you are shedding layers of yourself. You're like a snake. It's like shedding the layer of your skin. You are no longer the past person. You have evolved and changed, but your beliefs need to evolve and change with you. And I feel like your emotions are kind of what's stifling that, because you have all this shame or guilt or these beliefs that you can't be this way, or that it's not okay to be that way. And so I feel like this is the time that you really need to kind of go more within and just nurture yourself, because I feel like you guys might have that tendency of beating yourself up or just not taking good care of yourself. Maybe you're not getting enough rest, enough sleep, you're not eating properly. There's something here, Capricorn, where you could take more time and effort into working towards yourself, into helping yourself so that you can move forward. I'm also really getting to that when it comes to healing, there's a part of you that becomes overwhelmed because you don't know where to start. You're like, healing, what do I work on? It's almost like you feel as though I'm not going to say that you feel like you're so broken that you can't be fixed. It feels more like you think you're so broken that you don't know where to begin. And I don't think that's true at all. I just feel like a lot of you guys, you're just afraid to really look behind the vulnerability about this situation, or about whatever this is for you. I feel like this is really abstract, but it's kind of hard when it's like a, general reading, but it feels like something that there's something you want to pursue, or there's a piece of you that, and this feels a lot like it's more internal than external. It feels like there's a part of you that, you fight with yourself. You feel like there has to be a win-lose situation in yourself. And that's kind of where the healing can't take place, is the part of you that is beating the other part of you down, if that makes sense. So the part of you that maybe you're coming into, you could have this tendency of hurting yourself by saying, well, I shouldn't be this way, and look at me now, what am I doing? And it's like you're just constantly reaffirming to yourself why you have issues, and you need to start seeing the bigger picture of who you really are and what's really happening for you, because I feel like you guys are really healing and growing, but there's a part of you guys that feels almost like, again, this, you feel stuck, but at the same time you want to empower yourself. So it's this really it feels like it's it's flip-flopping in your energy right now. It's like you're in between states. You're in between two different worlds. You're not really there where you feel like you need to be. And it's causing these tower moments because I feel like you've made a decision on where you're going to go. Like you're still trying to gain that clarity and you can manifest what you want, but there's still this self-doubt in the back of your mind. Like, but what if I don't get what I want? What if it doesn't happen the way I'm hoping it does? What if I go out there and I do all these things and I take these steps, but then it doesn't meet me halfway. I don't get what I'm hoping I was going to get. And it's like these fears, these self-doubts, these worries, these things are what's kind of keeping you guys from really pursuing what it is that's going to make you guys happy, because you keep telling yourself that you're not enough, and it's like, I don't think you're realizing, it's not like you're intentionally trying to do this to yourself. I just feel like growing up and stuff, you could have just, I'm just getting like you're your worst inner critic, that you're always talking bad about yourself, whether you realize it or not. And I feel like some of you guys, you're reaching this point in your life where you're like, I know that I am changing and I know that I am healing, but again, there's just this sense of overwhelm. And I think that a lot of you guys, you just need to take it one day at a time. I think a lot of you guys, you get a lot like very anxious. And maybe working on your anxiety is going to really help you think more clearly. So eating better foods, getting the rest you need, exercising, just taking care of your physical body is really going to help get you to a more healthier state mentally. And I think that for right now, it's like work on those things and just work on easing the stress or the anxiety if you can. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's just you're so anxious or you're so worried that it could be blocking your judgment. It could be blocking your blessings. And I feel like a lot of you guys, I feel as though you've put a lot of time it's like like even though for a lot of you guys, maybe I'm also getting like maybe you've really had a hard time accepting parts of yourself or accepting things that have happened in your past, because I keep getting that you guys are fixated on something here. And it's almost like when you focus, like for instance, like I'm going to use like an example, okay? Like you might say, like, let's just use money, I guess, as an example, okay? Like, so let's say you say money is the root of all evil. And this is a belief that you hold. But then there's a part of you that's like, but I'm gaining money. I'm earning money, or I want money. And so now there's this conflicting belief, because then you're like, well, but money is the root of all evil. And if I want my money, then does that mean that it's going to corrupt me? Does that mean I'm going to be evil? And if so, is there a piece of me that's evil? And then you start worrying, and then you start second guessing yourself. And then it's almost like you talk down on yourself because, of this belief. And I feel like you guys are just, you're projecting out there like, oh, well, people with money are evil. And all you see is people with money doing evil things. And so what happens is it refers to you, oh, see, yeah. If I had money, I would be evil. You know what I mean? Like it's something like that, where it's like your external reality has proved to you your belief system. And so now you're like, it's true, see? And you can think about all of the stuff, you can bring up all these memories about the past and saying, this is why this will never happen. This is why I don't have good fortune, or this is why I can't have my money, or this is why I can't do this or that. But it's only because when we have a lens of perception, like your brain likes to really like narrow down what we focus on. So if you focus on rich people being evil, you're never going to see the good rich people out there, you know? You're never going to see a rich person doing good because you're so focused on rich people being evil that your brain is like, okay, so that's not what I'm focusing on, so let's filter that out. So it's only showing you through that filter of that evil. So see what I'm meaning? So I feel like for a lot of you guys, this can be with anything. I feel like you guys have gotten into this filter that, oh, my beliefs, like your belief system is what is causing you to have this filter. It's like you're judging yourself, you're judging your environments, you're holding on to these beliefs that aren't serving you anymore. Maybe not even realizing that that's stifling you, that that's keeping you from not manifesting what it is that you actually want. I feel like you have people around you that you have resources and people around you that could help you, that could probably set you on your path, but you're not seeing it because you're in this state of like looking at through one lens and not seeing the whole thing. The moon, and then we had that world card. So it's like you guys are, it's almost like you need to see the world through a different lens. And it's almost like you're completing a cycle too. I feel like you guys are completing a cycle in your life and you're moving on to the next cycle. But the issue that you have is like, I'm starting something new, I'm moving forward, I'm creating something, I'm going to start building towards this thing. But at the same time, you don't really know what to accept or what not to accept because you don't really know what you really want. So it's like, I feel like a lot of you guys, you have gone through a lot in your life, and it's caused you guys to have rigid beliefs. I'm also getting to just beliefs that have been passed down through generations that you have to kind of work through. Because I'm also just getting that a lot of you guys, you have this belief. And it's like a story that you tell yourself in the past that's keeping you from manifesting something. Because I feel like you're in this process of being able to manifest what you really want, but you don't know how to go about it. Because you almost feel like you can't. Because the past has proven to you that it didn't. So it's almost like your brain does that. It references similar circumstances. It brings up memories of certain things that can remind you of whatever is correlated to whatever you're going through. And it's like, oh, Capricorn, remember when you did this and that backfired? Maybe it's not a good idea to do that again. It's like it's trying to protect you by self-sabotaging yourself. But at the same time, there's still this piece of you that's like angry about it. You know what I mean? Like you're frustrated with yourself for trying to protect yourself, but you're not realizing that you're trying to protect yourself. All you're seeing is you versus you, but it's not you versus you. It's you versus the problem. How can we get the solution? So really needing to change that perspective, that mindset. We have the World card again, and we have the Four of Presents. So you're really holding on to some kind of belief that you have about the world, and that is something that I'm also just kind of picking up. And it's almost like it's stopping you from really expressing yourself, really putting yourself out there, because it's like you have a belief that someone's going to make fun of you or somebody's going to hurt you or something. You're just not going to be accepted in society. And it's like keeping you scared. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you in this loop of worrying. And it's like you're going nowhere. It's like a little hamster on a wheel. Like your mind is going a mile a minute, but you are physically not going anywhere. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's like this stuck energy. You feel stuck in the world. You feel like you're not going to be accepted with whatever this is. You are emotionally invested in making these decisions though, and I feel like a lot of you guys, you are afraid to really bring a part of you that's unique. And what I'm really getting to is it's almost like you're trying to portray yourself a specific way. Like you're afraid of people seeing who you really are because you're afraid of that like rejection, or you're afraid of what people might say or think about you. And I feel like that's kind of why you are keeping yourself in this state, because you're so afraid of the judgments, or you're so afraid of what might happen. Some of you guys feel like you have to recover from something. I feel like a lot of you guys could have been going through a form of depression, or like I said, that anxiety. There's something here where I feel like a lot of you guys, you've tried to do a lot of healing, a lot of work on yourself, and it's like taking that time out to recover. And trying not to stay around negative people. Don't put yourself around negative people at this time right now. I feel like you are in a vulnerable state, you know, energetically. We also have here acceptance. So I feel like you guys really are coming to this acceptance about who you are. It's like you're no longer going to let the past haunt you or let things define you. I'm also really getting to that for the longest time, you guys have felt very complacent. And that was because you guys are in this process of grieving and healing. And sometimes when we're in that process of grieving and healing, sometimes we stay complacent, or we stay where we are because it's like we're so tired or so overwhelmed. And I'm just getting that the more that you guys have sat in this grief, or the more that you are just going through this, it's almost like you're becoming more and more impatient, but you have to have faith in the process. Things are moving at the pace that it needs to go. You are going in the pace that you need to go. Things are aligning for you. Things will work out for you, but it requires faith. It requires knowing that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. But I am definitely sensing that guilt, there's like some type of emotion, and I feel like guilt is strong for you, where you feel guilty about something. You feel guilty about moving forward, or you feel guilty about who you feel like you are. Like, again, because I'm getting this sense that for some of you, you might feel like society or family or friends or coworkers or whatever this is, it's like you feel like people are not ready for your ideas. See, again, guilt came back out again, and we have discovery. So I feel like you guys are in the middle of discovering yourself, but you feel guilty because the stuff that you want, you know, might upset others, or you just might not get the acceptance that you want. But it's like time for growth. It's time for a change. And I feel like you guys, you're ready for that change. You're ready for that growth, but you're just frustrated because it feels like nothing's moving, nothing is happening externally, but internally there is so many shifts that are taking place, Capricorn. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you are healing and growing, and it's like you needed to have that internal clearing in order to get what you want externally. Yeah, see, you guys wanting to make a final decision, but I keep getting with that 8 of candles, and I don't know why, because I've never really had that before with this card, but I just keep getting this, like, pure pressure, this sense of afraid of people are not going to accept what you have to say. And that's kind of what's leaving you guys emotionally stuck. It's like, what are people going to say? The conflict that it brings, the fear of things ending, the fear of things changing on you. It's like you are ready for this new beginning. You're ready to, it's almost like you're ready to tip the scales back into your life. You're ready to have this fresh new start in your life. And like, I feel like some of you guys, you're cutting yourself free from things external from you that is no longer serving you. But it's this inner conflict, and maybe even externally, there could be conflict that you're afraid of, that you keep constantly trying to avoid, Capricorn. And I feel like that's another issue, is it's like you've come down to a decision in your mind, but you're afraid to execute it, or you're afraid to go for it, primarily because I'm getting that, Capricorns, they're really good at going after their goals. They're really good at like working hard. I mean, they're like the father of the zodiac, the CEO. But at the same time, you guys plan things through. You guys are very like, I've never really met a Capricorn that just goes for it, I feel like you guys really do take that time to plan, to really think about what it is that you want before executing your goals. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's what it is right now you're in this process of, okay, well, I don't know what kind of conflict that this is going to arise. And so you're kind of trying to it's almost like you're trying to do damage control before you even take the plunge. But at the same time, it's like you can't keep pushing back the date of what you want to do because you're so afraid of ending the completion of this, because you're so afraid of what others are going to say or think about this or about you. It's like you're needing to realize, like, I'm going to take the cup that I want because I deserve it. And it doesn't have to do with anybody else. So it's like you're learning to kind of gain this self-respect, it's almost like you're starting to you're starting to think more highly of yourself. You're more in tune with yourself too. I feel like a lot of you guys, you're trying to slowly build back up this sense of passion that maybe you feel like you've once lost. And I'm also just really getting that, in the past, you might have been emotionally numb or blocking parts of yourself off emotionally, and it's like it's because of that childhood, of that past. It's because of that constant feeling like you can't be yourself, so you constantly try to compensate for that, and now it's almost like you're not having to do that as much. So I feel like you guys are in this deep sense of healing at this time, and I feel like you're healing a lot because it's almost like what I feel like for some of you guys, it's like what's going on in your natal charts might actually be impacting this healing. Like if you are watching this after we've had the eclipse, I feel like there's something here where it's just really has impacted your life and affected you. We have 2 of presents. We have 4 of presents. We have the Sun. See, I feel like a lot of you guys, the 5 of Needles, some of you guys, you're, like I said, it's something to do with making this final decision, and I feel like you're going to do what's best for you, even though you're afraid that it's going to leave you out in the cold, even if it's going to cause you conflict. A part of you still might have this fear of speaking out and speaking your truth, but I get this sense that you're still going to want to stand strong and firm, because even though your past, this might cause the conflict because of the past, and I feel like this might cause some heartbreak or might cause some issues in your relationships. I feel like you guys are doing it because you know you need to, because you know you want to for yourself. Like you no longer want to keep hiding, keep parts of yourself stuck here, Capricorn. So I feel like you're really trying to it's almost like you're getting out of your cocoon, you're getting out of your comfort zone. I hope that this reading is making sense so far. It just feels like you're trying to get out of your comfort zone, but you're so afraid of what society is going to say or think. You're so afraid of what your family is going to think or your friends. You're so afraid of hurting other people. It's like you don't want to make waves, you don't want to cause issues with people, but you just want to live your life the way you want to live your life. And it feels like there's a lot of people who have expectations on you or has a lot of burdens on you. And you just feel like you're almost getting the sense of just, it's almost like you feel like you can't take it anymore. There is this sense of, I don't really want to cause issues, but I also don't want to stay where I am anymore. This isn't working for me. And it's kind of trying to find where in your life can you make those changes. And it just kind of feels like this sense of I don't want to I don't want to upset my parents, or I don't want to upset certain people. It's almost like you could have had parents that are like, "Oh, I want you to be a doctor or a lawyer." And then you're like, "Oh, I actually don't want to go to college," or "Oh, I don't actually want to do this or that." It's like you're going against people's it's like you're going against other people's beliefs or other people's opinions. I feel like you could have been like one of those people that have had parents that are very controlling, or people around you that really want to kind of control the narrative, tell you what you believe, what you think. Maybe that's just what you grew up with, but it's like you are not, you're not reaching your highest potential where you're at, and I think you know this. And so you really want to change. You really want to grow out of this. And I feel like some of you guys, you're really willing to talk about this now. The Five of Potions. See, eventually here, it was up in the upright. I feel like you will eventually move past this issue. Even if you feel stuck in the moment right now, Capricorn, it's just a passing phase. It's like you are healing, you are evolving, you are changing. It's like you are understanding what it is that you want. You are no longer letting the past define you. You also are no longer letting the past control you. Even though this might be difficult for you, and this is not something that's easy, I feel like you are willing to do it because it's like there's this part of you that wants to defend your own happiness. Even if you feel overwhelmed by the choices and the things that you can have, it's like you're afraid of being left out in the cold too. You're afraid of people abandoning you. You're afraid of how people will think about you, whatever this is for you guys. For some of you, it's just like you are learning, I can't pretend to be happy. I can't pretend to be happy anymore. It's like I'm done. I want to move forward. Even though this goes against my beliefs, or this goes against a family tradition, or this goes against something that I was almost conditioned into believing, or conditioned into having to done. Like some of you guys maybe have had your lives planned out for you. You're learning to go against that and break those barriers and say, listen, I'm sorry if this causes anybody pain, but this is what I want. And it's almost like you're having to learn to stand up for yourself more and defend what it is that you want, Capricorn. And I think that for a lot of you guys, it's like that certain relationships are going to die, or certain things are not going to work out because of your decisions and because of what you want to make. And so some of you guys, maybe you stay in that indecision because you're afraid of this happening. You're afraid of, it's like You know what needs to be done, Capricorn, but you're afraid to make that final decision, or you're afraid to actually just like go for it because of the chain of events that might be triggered by this decision and action. But you need to go more within, take some time out to be alone and just listen to yourself. I feel like you're learning your self-worth right now. You're learning how to be more assertive. You're learning to be more comfortable in your own skin, to be more, I think a lot of insecurities might be popping up at this time for a lot of you guys, and it's just so that you can work through them, so that you can stand up taller and stronger. I feel like this is going to lead you guys to a soulmate or somebody, whatever this decision is that you're trying to make here. I feel like it's going to lead you to a soulmate or somebody that's going to be influential to you. But I feel like at this moment, some of you guys might be isolating yourselves, or you might just really be trying to, like, keep yourselves, maybe you're just not really out about talking to people as much. I feel like with that trickery card, you've been around people that, I'm almost getting the sense too that you're afraid that people are going to try and trick you, or people are going to try and take advantage of you, or you're afraid that people are going to try and convince you out of this decision that you are making. It's a little like Aries, but Aries was going through like a divorce or something. So I don't know if that's what you guys are going through, but it feels like you guys are going through something here where you're separating from something, you're making decisions, you're afraid of the change and the outcomes, but you guys are on the path of learning more about yourself. You're on the path of evolving and growing, and I feel like a lot of you guys, you're starting to look better, you're starting to take better care of yourself, and once you learn to have that acceptance in yourself, you're going to be able to help people that have gone through similar circumstances or situations. But when we no longer are fighting with ourselves, we have more room and space to help other people and to be there for others. So I feel like for a lot of my Capricorns, you doing this, which I feel like for some of you guys, you might feel like this is a selfish decision that you're making here, Capricorn, but in the long run, this decision that you're going to make will eventually benefit other people down the road, and you could potentially find somebody that could actually be on the same wavelength as you, understands you, somebody that's there for you that you really need. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's a very positive thing, but you have to get over these conditionings and these beliefs about whatever it is that you can't do. So if you say, oh, I'd love to do this, but I can't because I have all these money blocks, then learn to unblock them. Whatever blocks you have, don't be afraid to tackle it one by one, because you guys will eventually get to the end goal. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you just need to be careful of people trying to trick you or people trying to take advantage of you. But I feel like a lot of you guys, that's just a fear of yours. But still. So I just feel like that's really what I have for my Capricorns. So yeah, hopefully this resonates for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great and wonderful day, Capricorns. Good luck. Bye.